Kia ora, tēnā koutou. We are checking in here for a special episode off series. We have a non-Kiwi on the podcast.
Non-Kiwi here.
Oh, he's a bit of an American.
A little bit of an American, yes.
Yeah.
Do I need to speak into the mic, or can I speak kind of like to the camera, but also
the
speak?
camera.
Okay.
Just talking to the mic. So just before we get started, a bit of a shocking day today in New Zealand. It is the 15th of March 2019. We had a bit of the largest terrorist attack I think we've ever had. I
Yeah.
think it's about 50 dead or something in Christchurch.
48 injured, I believe, in addition.
Something like that. So that's a bit of a bloody shame. Send our condolences out to everyone who was affected by that and whatnot. That sucks.
Really bad.
Yeah, on a less depressing note, we haven't seen each other for 3 years.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Which is fucking crazy.
Just being in Australia and not being in America is kind of just insane in the first place. But the fact that he's in a place that I travel to for work is just kind of convenient.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I had to stop by. I've been working all day, but, you know, how could I not come on the Scruffy Chinwags podcast?
Cheers, my dog.
Cheers.
We're drinking Heatsies leftover rivets. Thanks, mate.
So, Ruben and I were rugby teammates at University of Oregon.
Yep, that was us.
I think we met at an IHOP, which is International House of
Is
Pancakes.
that where we met, was it?
Yeah, well, I mean, like started to hang out type of meet.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I mean, like, I met.
Well, I remember the day that we started.
It was
when
in
I
Boise.
first hung out.
It was in Boise.
Oh, Boise. Oh, I got way too fucked up at Boise, bro. Remember that? I had that
I
real
didn't
fucked ankle.
Oh, yeah. I thought you were talking about drinking because I didn't stay.
Oh,
that extra
well,
night.
I did get way too fucked up.
Did you stay?
Yeah. Yeah, I stayed. Yeah. I got very drunk that night.
Jeez.
But I was going to say the first time that like we actually hung out was I think we were dusty on a hangover, and then I think I just messaged you and I was like, yo, how about that gaming?
Yeah. Because we were talking about, like, I think one of the first sentences that we said to each other, like, you like weed and video games? Yeah, I mean, I do. Oh, yeah, we should do that sometime. And then, what was it, like, the next? Like,
Yeah,
that
and you were
Monday?
just down the road from me as well.
Yeah,
Really?
I mean, like, everything was just down. Like that's what I miss about college so much. Now I'm living in LA, and it's like, if I want to leave my house, it's a fucking, like, if I want to go down the street to Target, it's a mission. Like,
Yeah,
it's
right.
like a 30-minute excursion.
how fucking-
Not 30, but it's
How big? Hey, Google. How big is LA?
The surface area of Los Angeles, California, United States is 1,302 square kilometers.
So I don't really know what that means,
I have
but
no
it's
relative
pretty,
framework.
it's pretty big. How many Melbourne's 4 million people here?
4.5 mil, yeah.
So I think that the Los Angeles, which is kind of crazy because, like, I mean, being an American, all you basically think about is America. That's just kind of how it goes. So
Yeah.
I don't think of Melbourne as like this big city. And I got here, and it's honestly, I mean, it's a lot more beautiful than LA, like because the LA River is just disgusting. I'm
Yeah,
sure
yeah,
people have seen it in movies, but the river that runs through here is awesome. You have the Tasman Sea.
Yeah, well, go on. Give us your initial thoughts of Melbourne. We'll still get a bit of Melbourne banter going in there.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
initial thoughts. So you flew in this morning. What time did you get in?
Got in at 8:10. Got to the airport. Got right off. Got back to the hotel. Went to the gym immediately. Just kind of get off that jet lag. Yeah, not a big deal. But yeah, and then after that, just took a shower, started work, and like I've been working all day. So I mean, I haven't been able to.
Seen much.
I haven't seen much, but like just even the Crown itself is just kind of sick because
Crown is sick, eh?
it's like Vegas, but it's like a little bit less raunchy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's a little bit more classy.
Classy,
Not
yeah.
to say that there's probably not some raunch going on in there, but
Oh, no doubt.
yeah, there is. But yeah, it's really cool. Like,
So why are you here?
so I'm a personal assistant to Arnold Schwarzenegger, and we have the
Arnold who?
you know, the
This guy.
guy, the
Captain
poses.
Arnold.
Yeah, that's my boss.
Save the world.
So pretty crazy, yeah.
That is fucking. Let's just hold right there for a second. And
You want me to tell the origin story?
swallow. Yeah, let's get into it. Let's go. It's
well-
crazy, bro, that you work. Whenever I tell mates that you work for Arnold, I have a mate who works for Arnold. They're just like, sounds a bit fake, bro.
I know. Well, especially like out here, you know, because in LA you're more close to that stuff. So like if I like met a girl and I said that, it like to her it would be like she's probably known someone that's in that same realm. I mean, not necessarily on the
Probably one person at least.
right.
That's
You
in
know,
that scene.
like I went out with a girl one time and she was like, "Yeah, I used to be Kourtney Kardashian's assistant."
Oh, really?
And I was like, yeah, it's pretty crazy. And she was like, just saying like how it was fucking nightmare, like just taking care of them. But I mean, working for Arnold in comparison from what I've heard other celebrities is he's just like a really funny guy, a really good guy. Treats me with respect.
Trying to get some brownie points.
No, I mean, yeah. So shout out to my boss if you're listening to the Chinwags podcast.
Tune in. Shout out Arnold.
But yeah, I mean, the way that I got into it is kind of crazy because I didn't like I was living in Washington D.C. at the time. So I'm from California. I moved across the country because I just kind of felt like I needed to get out, kind of like you probably felt with New Zealand.
Yeah.
So I was loving the city of D.C. But my job was very corporate. I wasn't treated very well. I felt kind of like a slave. I mean, they were paying me like $12 an hour to do like all this bitch work. Like I'd work, hours and hours and hours. Not to say it didn't help my resume a lot. So shout out to them. But I was reading an article about Arnold and his post-political career, kind of like what he does as a citizen, like a not
do you
after.
want to fill us in with what he does? Just for
Yeah. So what he does now is he's kind of in this weird purgatory because he's not a politician, so therefore he doesn't have to adhere to constituents or like he doesn't have to. There's not regulations to what he does.
Right.
So he can do a movie one week. He could be here in Australia doing the Arnold Classic the other week. He could be promoting his environmental nonprofit, which is called R20. And that's based out of Europe, and that promotes sustainability and clean energy projects across the world, which is pretty cool. Just to be involved in, helping save the planet, 'cause I think it's very important. And then he also has an after-school nonprofit, so helping kids find something to do after school, kind of like mentoring programs.
Like
just
trying to help them find hobbies for after school?
No,
or-
I mean, like, cause his thing is like from
giving
the
them
hours
something
of 3 to 6 when kids get off school and their parents are working,
Yeah.
that's when the most trouble would happen for a child. Like you get into like smoking cigarettes, like whatever. So he basically thought that was a big problem that some parents aren't able to be there for their kids. So he created the After School All Stars, which helps kids both find hobbies, but also learn how to be good students. So it's like, get your homework done first, and then you can go out and play basketball, or either they have jujitsu programs. Like it's
How many kids are enrolled in that? Do you know?
Man, millions, because they have them like
State, countrywide, or
it's all across the country. Yeah, so they have like
prominent in California though, or
based in California, but they have like a DC office. I don't know if I think the LA office is the main office, but they're like all over the place, and it's growing still. So that's also like a cool thing. Like who wouldn't want to like help out kids? It's not like I'm running the company, but just being involved in this whole process is just like it's fulfilling. And then like I said, he's also an actor. So he's got a new Terminator movie coming out in November.
Word.
So that'll be cool.
That will be cool. Have you seen like any behind the scenes shit?
Nah, but
Haven't been on set or anything?
I've met one of the actors. He's a really good guy. The new Terminator that's going to be in it. He's
okay.
really super nice guy.
So you can't give away.
I can't divulge anything.
Okay.
No. But I actually don't know. I know kind of just from like in passing, but nothing of substance. But yeah, it's a crazy life. And like I was saying before, the way that I got into it was I was reading this article basically detailing what his life is like after being the governor. So kind of just like what I explained. He doesn't have any restrictions on what he can do.
He's kind of just playing his hands all over the fucking
world.
and
the guy just moves, man. Like he's 71.
71.
And I mean, he's in great shape, but he's just like we were in Columbus, Ohio 2 weeks ago. We're here this week, Brazil 3 weeks.
Yeah.
South Africa 3 weeks after that.
Just all over the show. Does travel fucking fuck him? Is it where he's out?
I don't know.
You don't know how
I'm tired. I'm tired, but but like I feel like he's a machine, like no pun intended. But like he's really just a workhorse, and I guess it's like it's cool to be like around that because that inadvertently kind of motivates you to be a better person. Like even like when we're at the gym, he'll give you a pointer on some lift.
Yeah.
And it's just like, oh fuck, like that's crazy.
That's
like
God. That's God right there. The God of lifting.
But like you kind of like I wouldn't say the magic's worn off like whatsoever, honestly, because I'm still like just bright-eyed, bushy-tailed. Like they'll make complaints like, damn, like, are you sure you're going to be okay? You're in premium economy, which is like one above coach.
Yeah, right.
And I was like, God, you're giving me a free airline ticket and stay at the nicest hotel in Melbourne. Like,
And I'm in Melbourne.
what am I complaining? Yeah, I'm in Australia hanging out with
other
my
side of the
friends. So
world.
it's just like, you know, I'm 23 years old. I'm not married. I don't have anything to do.
Yeah, fucking oath.
So
That's the one.
yeah, the article
Carry on.
that I was reading, I just got super, super hyped because I was like, ah, shit, like it'd be so cool to work for a dude that does all this.
Yeah.
And so I used to work in the state capitol when I was like 15 in Sacramento, California. So that was when he was governor. I didn't really know anyone that knew him. So I kind of had to ask around for people that knew somebody in his office.
The link. Yeah.
Right. So that I finally got it, and I got my boss's now email. So my current boss, Daniel, I got his email, and I emailed him my resume. I basically threw a Hail Mary. I don't know if you guys know what American football.
We know what a Hail Mary is.
Okay.
We got it.
But so I just attached my resume. I said why I want to work for you guys, like how cool, you know, it would be really awesome, and I admire what you do, et cetera, et cetera. I was just kind of tossing something out, and I didn't expect anything back. Daniel calls me, and he's like, hey, so we want you to go to Paris for 3 days. We have a job. You're going to do the job you're going to have, and if you do it right, you get it. If you don't, you get a free trip to Paris.
So it was a little like tryout.
Yeah.
Team
Totally,
tryouts.
totally, and it was cool because, you know, there's a lot of its personality. So like the first night, we just kind of had some drinks and chatted before the boss showed
You
up.
got to be able to get on with each other if you're fucking traveling.
Right, and that's probably the best part of this whole organization is
that
just,
you do get on with each other.
They're like my best friends. I mean, like obviously they're work colleagues.
You couldn't ask for better work colleagues.
But right, like I feel like, you know, if I have, because I am the youngest, so I'm kind of like the baby. Like I'm the youngest by like 13 years.
Right.
So, you know, everyone.
You're the prodigy.
Right. I mean, like, I don't want to call myself that, but I mean, what I mean is like, they all look after me. Like, cause for me, it's like a lot of kids I've seen that are our age, that get into these types of positions, they feel like they know it all, and they feel like they're better than everyone. Me personally, I know I'm an idiot and I have so much to learn.
Yeah.
You know, like
always a
obviously
good
I'm smart enough to be in the position I am, and I'm grateful for that. But like what I've noticed is like you just have to be okay with pretending, or not pretending, but like if you don't know something,
ignorant kind of.
if you don't know something, like don't be afraid to like ask your colleague. And they're all like my moms and dad. Like they're just like, you know, even if I don't know what to wear for a date, I'm like Lynn, who's this sweetest lady in the office, is basically like my aunt, and it's just like, you know, like what am I gonna wear tonight? You know, she'll be like, oh well, like, you know, just give me like all these options. So like I've really grown close with everyone I've worked with, including.
How many people are on your team?
So
so the whole team would be. Because he's in so many different fucking platforms.
Right, so like each of those different platforms has their own core team. Okay. But then there's like the personal office.
What about your core team then?
Yeah, so Oak Productions, which is like his office. So that's like his everything. So at the end of the day, our company oversees kind of
all of these operations
in a way. And so it's me, who's the assistant, and then Daniel, who's the chief of staff. So I work under him. Lynn is, they call her special project, but she just does everything. Like she runs his schedule. Yeah. You know, if he wants to, you know, like make a birthday card, like she'll help make him. Like she just does all that.
Puts her fingers on everything. Yeah.
And then they have like money people. So there's two money people, and then we have two archive people. So everything that comes through our office,
track of everything.
They just archive it and keep track. But the core, like Arnold's PR / kind of world is me, Lynn, Daniel are running like that type of stuff.
Okay.
Daniel mostly because like.
So that's a team of, was that a team of 7? Was it?
About 7, yes.
Including Arnold himself.
Yes.
And you like going back to your days when you're in LA just doing your day-to-day job, you're just going into the office and this team's going to be there basically? Yeah. I mean, you're obviously going around a little bit as well, but.
Yeah, like I have to run errands every once in a while, but. Yeah. But when I'm in LA, I work from 9 to 6, and I'm monitoring media stories. I'm like thinking of clever tweets and whatnot, and it's just, I mean, like it's just kind of fun because you have this big platform. Yeah. You know, and so it's like,
oh, it's crazy, bro.
If something Trump does, you know, like you can comment on that. Indirectly. I mean, like it's not me, you know, but.
Yeah.
but I feel like I'm a part of that, which is cool, you know, like, and it's not just Trump, you know, just anything. You feel like you have a voice from your boss in a way, even though no one knows it's you. You feel like you're making an impact being a part of it. So yeah, I think that
it's a fucking amazing opportunity, bro.
Yeah,
so stoked.
I know.
So stoked for you, man. It's sick.
I'm just forever grateful for this.
And I'm just stoked for Arnold as well for doing all these different things. Like,
Yeah.
fuck, what a fucking genius, bro. He just sussed out everything.
Mm-hmm.
And his life is crazy.
Yeah.
And if you don't know much about Arnold, Tim Ferriss does a mean podcast with him.
Mm-hmm.
You ever listen to that one? That's a goodie. And there's heaps of other shit out there like that, you know? He's done a few potties here and there, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's not too.
Has he done a Rogan?
No, he hasn't.
You should get around a Rogan.
It'd be cool. Yeah, it would have to be like the right time. He's not always like a podcast guy.
Yeah.
Tim's a little bit, you know, he does short podcasts, so
and they're quite direct.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's just a matter of what he wants to do at the end of the day. But yeah.
So what sport you guys here then? Do you want to give it a wee pluggo?
What?
To Melbourne. What's brought your team here to Melbourne? You and Arnold. What are you doing here?
So we have the Arnold Classic Australia, and that is at the convention center in downtown Melbourne.
CBD, yeah. Whatever.
I don't know.
By the Crown.
Yeah, but it's a sports festival. It's 40 sports, 10,000 athletes. It's the 5th year it's been in Melbourne, and it's just basically like they have everything from like medieval dudes dressing up in armor fighting each other. They have boxing. Strongman, my favorite's a strongman because you know,
strongman's crazy.
It's crazy, yeah. They're just like
mind blowing stuff.
Dudes that'll lift things and move things that you never thought were possible to move.
Yeah. So
I love watching those guys, and bodybuilding's cool. But it's just like it's all encompassing, and then you could walk around the whole place and get a bunch of free stuff too.
Oh fuck yeah! I got heaps of free like supplements today.
Yeah,
just like,
and like you'll like never think that you would like want any of that.
Like, what is this? They'll just say like a series of letters. Okay.
No,
man, I'll try it. It's free.
So yeah, it's fun if anyone's in Melbourne.
If
I
you
guess
get the opportunity. Well, this won't be out.
This probably won't be out. Yeah. So, but you know, next year, yeah, it's gonna be.
And you'll be back for another one.
And I will be back in another one. Yeah, hopefully if I don't get fired in the next year.
Exactly.
You know, it's a cool little thing that we do, and I think he really enjoys it because one of his big things is the fitness crusade, which is bringing the idea of fitness to everyone. And I don't know if anyone saw the viral video lately of the kid with cerebral palsy doing a deadlift.
Don't know. I didn't see it myself.
So basically it was and it's cool because like we get to meet these people, these inspirational people. But one guy, he has cerebral palsy. He's 25 years old. He's 99 pounds and he deadlifted 200 pounds. And right. So Arnold saw the video on the internet and was like, hey, you should come out to Columbus, Ohio, which is where the main Arnold Classic is.
Okay, yeah.
And he's
OG.
Yeah, so we're like, he's like, we want you to deadlift on stage in front of the big crowd, and the place was just exploding. Like, and he was just the happiest dude in the world, and he was so nice. Like, a lot of people think people with cerebral palsy have something wrong with their head, but they just can't control their body or their speech.
Yeah.
So like, it was cool because one of his trainers has known him since middle school. He's kind of like he hangs out with him all the time. And the way they talk to each other is the same way that we're talking.
Yeah.
Like they understand each other completely, even though it doesn't sound normal to us. But like you can tell that they've developed a relationship where they can
got that chemistry. Yeah, well, that's the same. Like my mum used to work with. Oh, well, she still does, I guess. But she used to work at a center for disabled people as well. And you know, like there was people that I couldn't understand, and she just kind of always could be like translate it for me. I was just like, okay.
And it's like important to like give those like because. He also says, like, if you're a gym owner and you're not reaching out to people like that or out to women or, like, if you're just looking out for the hardos, like, you're not a good gym owner. Like, you need fitness is for everyone. Miles Taylor is the guy that was doing the deadlift. So people like Miles, you know, like, people that don't feel confident enough to get into a gym, like, we want those people to feel like they can get in there and they can get fit just like everyone else because the more people that are in the gym, the better. And that's just all he wants to preach, especially with this. So this is a festival celebrating fitness as a whole rather than, you know, a bodybuilding expo or a strongman expo. It's just like everything. Yeah,
well, that's what I originally thought when I was going. Because that's something I would never go to, bro. Cheers for hooking me up with the pass. It's fucking legendary. It's something I would never even think to go to, you know. Just because it's like for one, it was out of my price range. And then it's just like, No, I didn't even know these things happen.
No.
And then
I guess we need to market better,
thought,
huh?
when you told me about it, I thought it was just like a bodybuilding thing and the strongman thing as well. I didn't realize it was 40 different sports.
Yeah.
Across
Columbus
whole
is
week.
like, damn, like
Even more.
80. Like,
Yeah,
so,
right.
yeah, it's crazy. Like 200,000 people go to that expo.
It's just celebrating the joy of sport and fitness. Then
Yeah, every year, and they've been doing it since the 70s.
there was some fucking big cunts there today, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Woo.
Yeah.
Wow.
And they're all like the nicest dudes.
Yeah, hard.
They're all the nicest
Gotta
dudes.
be, eh?
Yeah.
No one's gonna talk to you if you're not nice and you're that big.
I know. Right?
Do you reckon? Do you know the nationality majority? Do you reckon majority of the ones that are here,
Strongman or
the
what?
ones
Just
in
any-
Melbourne, do you think that they're Australian mainly, or
I wouldn't say mainly because it's like a circuit. At least for the strongman, it's like a circuit. So they have
a strongman's different though, you know?
right. I mean, I
Hard to
think
know.
Aussie's amateur probably a lot.
Okay, well, tell us about the strongman a bit more. Do you want to tell us
Yeah.
what even the fuck that tournament is? Do you need another beer?
No, I'm like halfway done. I'm good. But yeah, so the strongman is actually like my favorite event that we do for the Arnold Classic, and like I said, it's basically just big dudes moving big things. And the way that it works, we have the Arnold Classic in Australia, we have it in South Africa, Brazil, Spain, and Columbus. And Columbus is the culminating one. So you have these 4 Arnold Classics to kind of get. What was that?
All good. I think it was that GoPro.
But anyways, so those are like qualifiers. So like people like the Mountain who have won 2 years in a row now.
The last 2 years that he
The last 2 years he's won the Arnold Strongman Classic.
right.
And so he doesn't need to go to the smaller shows because he's already qualified. He's
Yeah,
good.
yeah,
So
right.
like
So
like
Columbus is the finals.
right. And if you're on the cusp, you're gonna want to compete in these smaller shows to get your rank up.
Yeah.
And we also now have one, which I actually got to put together, or kind of be like the overseer on it, was the Santa Monica show, which was like on the Santa Monica Pier. And it was just like a cool event in the sun and all the strongmen lifting, a bunch of people there. And we raised $75,000 for the California firefighters, which was also a really cool thing to do. And that, like, kind of what I was talking about earlier about being a part of these like making people happy type things. I got to meet so many firefighters that were so grateful that we put these events on, and I got asked to be a part of a board to restore an old fire engine, and it's just, I don't know, it's humbling, I guess, to be in these situations. The humbling in general to put anything together doing this, but yeah, it's you got to stay. You got to at least for me, I got to realize where I'm at. Like I can never, like, I don't want to become Hollywood, quote unquote Hollywood. You know.
Do you reckon that this is your field of work? Like the field that you want to be in now? Or are you still like got other aspirations of where this could lead? Or
Yeah, I mean, like I'm kind of just like taking it as it comes because like I'm really
at
young.
the moment it's the place to be.
Like I'm really enjoying it. I don't have any plans. I think what this has taught me is that I'm really interested in media and entertainment, and just being creative on things, events, like putting together events. It's really fun.
Yeah.
So, you know, like wherever it takes me, honestly, I don't really have any
Well, let's step it back a little bit then. So what did you study in college
political
or
science.
university for us?
Yeah. Political science major, and I had 2 minors, one in media studies and one in business.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And we were both at we met at the University of Oregon when I went on exchange there.
Mm-hmm.
How many years did you do there?
4.
4, and I was there for 6 months. Should we do some bloody college banter? Should we get it going?
Yeah,
bit
yeah.
of reminiscing, bit of nostalgia.
A little clean reminisce, yeah.
Yeah, we've already done a little bit.
Ah, man, there's so many funny.
So rugby, yeah, we did the rugby. Wow. I mean, I'm just going to come out and say it. Step down.
Yeah,
Big old step down.
Yeah, totally. And I was actually talking to the taxi driver on the way here, like, because he was like, yeah, like we got some good, like America's really good at basketball. I'm like, yeah. And then I
we're
like,
fucking mean at basketball.
I know, but I was just, but I think you're just thinking about it, kind of like, yeah, it's whatever. But then like somewhere here, or like New Zealand's a better example. you grow up playing rugby. Everyone knows how to play rugby. Doesn't matter if you're the shit at it.
Yeah.
You know how to play. And that was with you. It's like you weren't a rugby. You know, you played in the touch tournaments and you were killing.
Yeah.
But I mean, you weren't like
I wasn't a fanatic.
Yeah,
No.
because I knew a bunch of kids when I spent some time in Napier, and we can get into that too. But
We'll get there.
But those kids were live, die rugby.
Yeah.
And they didn't make it to the All Blacks. Like,
There's a lot of
I think
people like that.
One of my friends made it to the Maori All Blacks, and then,
Yeah.
like that pronunciation, by the way. And then one of my friends made it to the Chiefs.
Yeah.
So, but still, like, what I'm trying to say is, like, America with basketball, it's the same way. You grow up playing basketball. Everyone knows how to play.
Yeah, yeah.
If I went to wherever else and played pickup basketball, I'd probably, if I didn't have a hip replacement recently,
Yeah.
I'd probably be killing. And so, yeah, I imagine it was a huge step down. And that was probably just fun as hell playing.
It was fun. It was fun. Bro. It was good.
We were treating this guy like he was just like a god. Like he was our fly half and step. Oh, man.
Stop it. Gosh. Blushing.
But how did you get discovered? Lucas met you at a bar?
Met one of the dudes at the bar, which goes to point to the joys of drinking.
Yeah.
And then he was just repping the gear. He was repping the jacket. The
Yeah.
rugby.
Man, I miss
I was just
Lucas too.
Yeah, old Lukey, shout out, my brother.
Yeah. Damn.
Come over.
I sent them all a picture of us.
Oh,
And
did you?
everyone was like, oh,
Nice.
shit.
I missed the fellas. Because definitely it was just so good to meet it was the best way to meet people.
Yeah,
you know?
totally.
Good group of
Because
dudes.
you have like, probably 25 solid dudes that may not be like the best friends because you probably have your core 5 or whatever.
Yeah.
But like 20, you can go back when not
Easily meet
now, but if we were all there again and you went back, like there'd be like 25 dudes like you're
Easy.
all close with. And that's what's cool about rugby because I played rugby since I was like 11 and it's always been like that.
Yeah. So what was rugby like in America when you're 11? Well, yeah, let's talk pre-college.
So pre-college rugby, actually, I stepped down in college competition. So like when I was in high school and middle school, I was playing like the best of the best, at least in America. Because Northern
And SAC.
Sacramento is where I'm from, and Sacramento for whatever reason is just like
Up the Kings.
Yeah, up the Kings. Shout out to the Kings. Terrible
good
loss
season.
last night, whatever. But
Yeah.
we are climbing back.
Yeah. Good season.
But yeah, everyone just loves rugby there. All the schools have a team, and so I kind of got sucked into it when I was young. So I kind of had a complex about being skinny. I was like, I just want to like prove myself physically or whatever.
Yeah.
Still kind of have that type of stuff, but not as severe. But I played some tough guys when I was in high school, and I got beat up pretty bad. But once I got to college, it just made things like way easier. And I felt like I realized in college I wasn't like a flashy player. I mean, I never was, but like I think I kind of accepted my
When it's your
role
role
as a role player.
Yeah.
And you just do your job every single time. You don't necessarily have to score a bunch of tries.
That's
But
what
like if
every
I'm,
sport's like.
I played lock and flanker, and so it's just like hit your rucks, like make your tackles, and just like
Yeah.
hit dudes if they're acting up.
Yeah.
And so like you do that, you're fine. And I felt like at Oregon, it was a lot easier to just kind of like buckle down because people were just college rugby. You can tell there's a lot of people that join and they're like, I just want to fucking hurt everyone. Not like hurt everyone.
There's a lot of people who just realize they're not good enough for football either, right?
Yes.
And they're just like, I still want to like hit some people.
And a lot of people that come from wrestling and don't have a college option for wrestling, because college wrestling is really hard to get into in America.
Yeah, right.
And they didn't want to fight MMA, so they went to rugby, which is not I'd love to have a wrestler on my team.
Yeah, it translates a lot.
Exactly, but I mean, you have those type of kids. They come in flying. People get hurt, and so it's a double-edged sword. I don't know if I used that right, but kind of like they can be really good, but they can also kind of fuck you in a way. But it's part of my French. But yeah, I think rugby was just for me growing up. It was just some way to hang out with my friends. Like I was never in love with it. I didn't even think I was really good at it until like my second or third year, and then I quit all my other sports basically, and I just kind of took rugby. And
then because you did an exchange to New Zealand, right? Do you want
so
step back to that?
My experience in New Zealand. Is there like a way I can like pee really quick, or do I have to wait to pee?
You go, my dog. Well, we could actually probably just have a break. Do you have a recommended song? Do you have any song you recommend? You know what to do. Ooh, Marky Mara. Marky Mara. The Trouble with Us with Chef Faker. Coming up to you guys. We'll be back in a tick. Run us through it.
Okay. Well, so the way that I got involved with New Zealand, I guess you can say, I don't know, involved with New Zealand as a country. But so when I was playing rugby in high school, the Napier boys came to Sacramento.
How old were you quickly when you went over?
I was a freshman in college. I think I was probably 18.
Oh, okay.
I think 18 years old. So at first, when I was 17 years old, they came to Sacramento to play our city all-star team. They murdered us. Like, it was not even cool. But we made really, really good friends with a lot of the Napier boys. And so basically they were like, hey, you should come check out New Zealand. We'll put you up and just, have a good time. And it wasn't like a rugby exchange or anything. So me and my friend Jonah did a month over in New Zealand, and it was during the summer. So for us, it was cool because we did like Christmas Day there, and it was like all sunny and stuff.
Yeah.
And we did New Year's at the Mount.
Change.
And we camped on Papamoa, saw like Lake Taupo. I luged in Rotorua, drank a lot of Tui's and Cody's. But it was just cool because I felt like it was the same vibe, and I hate the word vibe, but it's like Hawaii, like everyone's just kind of chilled out.
Yeah.
And it's a very islandy lifestyle.
Especially in the summer.
Yeah, especially in the summer. So like everyone's like playing J-Boog and like in their backyard, like drinking beers and stuff. And like
nice to know ya, let's do it again.
I heard that shit. And it was a song of the summer that year was why you gotta be so rude?
Oh, magic.
Don't you know I'm human too? Yeah, dude. So we would just listen to that on repeat.
Bang.
And then what other song? I feel like the music that we listened to really stuck with me. Have you ever heard the song Air? Or it's the band Air?
Don't think so.
Okay. Oh, Homebrew. The Homebrew crew.
Homebrew.
Because I'm an alcoholic and I know. Dude, that might be like one of the best songs probably ever. Just a public service announcement there. But yeah, we just like literally just drank and
because you were 18.
Then hung out, yeah. And we went to Wellington for a night, stayed in a hostel. That was pretty cool.
Yo.
I was the oldest. Some of them were like 17, so they had to like use fakes to get into bars and stuff.
Yeah, that's hectic for it, because you wouldn't have been able to drink back in fucking the States.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I had like a whole experience of like drinking as a legal person.
And drinking in New Zealand.
In New Zealand, yeah. And I had like, we were like a group of like 10, 12. So it was like, I was just a part of like their little crew for the summer. Yeah. It's different than like doing like, you have your host family that you have like, it's just like you go with the boys and you go do whatever the boys do.
Where did you stay and shit then?
Napier, I stayed at my buddy's houses. So I did have like host families, but like, I mean, they weren't like.
But you weren't flatting or anything, right?
No. I just stayed in my friends' houses, and then we got a hostel in Wellington, and then we camped on Papamoa with my friend's family, and then all the boys, and just. It's a different culture there with the drinking, because like even if the parents are there, like you're just basically partying like you would normally party. Yeah. So it's pretty cool, and I actually think
the roots go deep for our drinking culture.
Yeah, I mean like
positive
some of it's
and negative.
Yeah, because from what I heard, the binge drinking is a big problem.
Yeah. We're pretty hefty drinkers.
What I think is cool, I guess cool might not be the word, but I mean that parents are kind of allowing their kids to experiment with alcohol safely, as in, you have both your parents home and you have 6 of your boys over. Knowingly, your parents know that you're going to have 5 friends over to drink.
Yeah.
And if someone gets sick, your parents there.
Yeah.
Or like they're there to tell you don't drink so much. Because for me, it was like so forbidden in America to drink. I mean, eventually it got to the point where my parents were just kind of like, eh. But when I first started drinking, I didn't have anyone to coach me. I didn't have anyone to kind of tell me what's dangerous and what's not. And I ended up just, I probably drank way too much in high school, and I wasn't exactly like a great dude.
Yeah.
But I mean, you
Classic.
know, who really is like?
Well, when would it be the normal age for an American kid to start drinking, you think?
I bet 16, 17.
Right.
Just if you're not like, if you're a social person, probably 16, 17. Not to say that you have to do it. Some people, you know, they're just not down. But
I would say for us, it's probably like, I think I started when I was 13 was the first time I got drunk.
I think 15 for me.
Yeah.
But it's like,
which makes sense, you know, because about 2 years difference in the age gap.
But I'm glad that I got to that, that I started early in a way, because when I got to college, I was already experienced in it. But honestly, I was like kind of almost done with drinking by the time I got to college.
It's so weird going to America and going out to the clubs and shit and seeing, because I was 21 when I was in America, and seeing 21-year-olds acting like 18-year-olds back home. Yeah. It's just like, wait up, what the fuck's going on here?
Because you have these experiences, that your lessons that you learn as a young drinker, and in New Zealand you got your parents there to be with you, which is even better. But
most of the time,
it's
more common at least.
Yeah, it's like more accepted. Even like having wine with dinner, you know.
Yeah.
Like that's not like really that chill in America to have wine with dinner if you're a kid. And so, I mean, I think that it was cool that they were there to kind of supervise us. And I think it paid off dividends. It probably paid off dividends for them in terms of going out in the future, but especially for me, because like I already knew what I was doing.
On another side of that, though, it might pay off dividends for the worse, because like it might develop an alcoholism.
Yeah, and that's just like what we were saying with binge drinking. But and that's what I mean. Also, is people like me who didn't have that control, the supervision, and like you said, not everyone has that, but I could have easily turned into I might have been, you know, I might have actually been a binge drinker now that I think about it.
Yeah.
Because like, if I was drinking at home and my parents are upstairs, like I wouldn't just be like I'd be kind of like, okay, like I should be a little bit somewhat responsible, but I can still have fun, you know. And I think that if your parents are there to tell you like fucking stop, you know, like if you don't have anyone to tell you there to stop, you're just gonna keep going because you think that's just what drinking is, you know.
In saying that though, bro, I had some parties and stuff with my family there and parents, and we would kind of just keep to ourselves, and they'd stay upstairs, we'd be downstairs, and like it was guaranteed that one person's getting like spewed fucked up, you know? But like it's more like, the thing I liked about it was that when someone did get like that, you know, mum and dad could be like, sweet,
this is just
you go home.
Like,
but like, and not like that, like not kick you out on the street, but like, you've had enough, that it's time. Let's call your parents or whatever.
I remember my sister, on the same note, my sister calls me when she was like first getting drunk, and she was like 16, 17. No, my friend's throwing up in the shower. I think she's gonna die. Like she's not like opening her eyes and stuff. And I was like, yo, it's fine. Like but she wasn't crying. And then I told her it was going to be fine. Don't worry. And I was dating a girl at the time. She calls my girlfriend in tears, like, my friend's going to die. And like those situations, because she was too scared to call my parents because she thought she was going to get in trouble, or too scared to tell the parents whose house she was at.
Yeah.
She's like, we're going to get in trouble. Like, so what if she was getting alcohol poisoning? The fact that my sister would be
more important, the death or the trouble,
right? And so like if she was in trouble, they would have been too scared to talk to their parents, and I think that's a problem.
Yeah, but I also think to stick up for the American side of starting a little bit later, so New Zealand kids might start a little bit earlier, and their bodies can't tolerate it as much. And we've had like a few cases where young boys will drink too much and then too proud to spew it up or something, and then same situation. Even worse when you're younger, you're like, fuck, we might get in trouble.
Yeah.
And then they just like, their body can't handle that much alcohol and they'll die.
Yeah.
You know? They'll die off. Like I remember back in the day, there was a boy who drank like heaps of vodka and then just was too proud to spew and then just died.
Yeah, it's just, alcohol is just a dangerous thing.
Dangerous thing, you know?
Yeah. I mean, like, I've definitely slowed down my drinking, like, a lot after college. Well, I mean, like, I was never, like, someone even in college to just drink, like our buddy Paul, like still every day, you know, but but like, you know, he can handle it. It's not like he gets out of control, but but like I was never that guy to like go to bed and drink a sixer before bed. Like I'm more of a marijuana person, I'd say.
Yeah.
And so
well, with drinking, I'm more of a like one night a week I get fucked up.
Yeah. That's kind of where I mean, I like that's probably where I sit too. So like I go out with my friends once a week, and then I spend the other 2 days of the weekend recovering. Yeah. And then you got 5 days of work, and then you're like, you know.
And that's life.
Exactly. And that's, I guess, kind of sad, but at the same time, like I enjoy.
It's fun.
I enjoy being busy, I guess.
Yeah.
I enjoy like doing stuff because I've even like worked from home a couple days, and it sucks because like I'm just like sitting in my house, feel kind of trapped. Like I at least get to drive, and I get like a nice 30-minute drive through LA. Yeah. Get to Santa Monica. It's a whole different area of the city, and I get to hang out there all day. So it's just like kind of cool to just be around there.
Yeah.
And be off my ass. But
so when you were in New Zealand, were you in school?
No.
Okay, you were just there.
Yeah, I was just hanging.
Okay,
like literally just hanging.
I was gonna ask. Well, what do you think? Apart from the drinking, what were the other differences you noticed in culture? Like extravagant differences, if any.
I feel like it was very. I feel like it was very similar to like kind of our dynamic of social. The only difference was like the whole like parents involved in partying type thing. Yeah. And that was just kind of strange to me. Like, oh, like so and so's parents are letting us have a party over there tonight. I remember we had a party at my friend's house, and his parents are upstairs, and like one of his friends like broke a bottle in his backyard, like just fucking threw it down. And I'm like, what the, like is, you know, like why would you do that? And I mean, like he could have just been like a wild card dude. Yeah. But I mean, I think it was just like the same kind of thing you saw early college was happening in their late high school.
Yeah, okay.
Kind of stuff, you know. So I think that was different. But other than that, they're just basically like bunch of dudes. Just
did you dabble with weed when you were in New Zealand?
Little,
but not really. Like,
what do they call they said to go pick it up in the Nui. And that's
the Nui.
That's what they call like the ghetto, I guess, in Napier. I don't know if that's just a universal word for ghetto.
I
that's just called it the Nui. And they pick up a tinny.
Tonight.
And you just get it in this like aluminum tin foil, and it was just like, what the hell, you know? I mean, it was fine, but I don't know.
Quality wise, too hard to tell. Like now.
I don't remember, but I remember it not being as good.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay. How sick is it having weed legal?
It's cool. I mean, like it's cool because.
Don't downplay it.
No, I mean, it's there's good and bad. One of my bad is kind of a conspiracy theory type thing, but
hit me.
So the bad part of legalization, in my opinion, is, and this is like I said, kind of like a conspiracy theory. There's not really much substance to this, but I think that companies like Marlboro, cigarette companies or whoever, start to dabble into the weed business. And of course, cigarette companies and everyone are going to want to sell more. So what I'm concerned about is that just like what happened.
Crossing it.
What?
You mean like mixing the two?
Right, but not mixing it like necessarily. I mean, like if you look at cigarettes and let's say early days, pick the tobacco straight from the field, throw it in a paper. Now you have all these processed things, a bunch of nicotine, etc. So let's say they start putting nicotine in weed, or in their cigarettes. Not necessarily tobacco, but they start adding addictive chemicals because
to the weeds
they want to sell more, and just kind of just like tobacco, they wanted to sell more.
I can get on board with that conspiracy, man. I like that.
And like I said, I don't know because it's just way different.
And it's still early days.
Way different industry, and it's very early, so I couldn't call that, but that is a concern of mine.
I don't mind that. Cool, that's good.
The good is that you can just order it to your doorstep. And it's not like it's sketchy at all.
Yeah, and it's cheap. And it's been like tested and whatnot.
Yes,
and all that.
And then you don't have to worry about like. I mean, I don't necessarily. I wouldn't say I would really worry about getting like spiked stuff.
Yeah.
But I guess you work.
Not necessarily spiked, but like maybe low quality. You know what you're buying. You know you're buying certain
Spend more to get better.
and like
Exactly.
certain buzz, and that's what I found so amazing with the dispensaries and stuff. When I was in Oregon, I was just like, there's different. It's not just weed. There's like all these different weeds. And
Yeah,
all
because you
these
saw that.
fucking different.
How was
weeds.
it? How was it when? Because we were in Oregon together when weed. You were there when it was legal. Because it must have been nuts to go into a dispensary.
It was the craziest thing.
Yeah,
I couldn't believe it, bro. I walked. It was like I felt like a kid walking into a candy shop.
It's just and coming from another country, like even my first time when I went in when I was like 18, when I had my medical card, it was just kind of like, oh no, like, or not, oh no, it was just
like
oh
what
my god,
fuck? Like you actually look around at all the different types and like little smelling
but
containers and
if
stuff.
you're 18, 4 years ago, your parents were telling you not to do it, and it was a drug and stuff, and then now all of a sudden, like there's a store, and then not to mention the CBD and its benefits. I actually had my hip surgery, like I said, 6 weeks ago, and I was prescribed OxyContin. My family has kind of a history with addiction, and my aunt is actually involved with OxyContin. So I was kind of just like, I don't want to. So I took the pill bottle. It's not like I didn't grab the pills. I did, but I think I took like one just to sleep on like the second night.
And you're like, God, this is the best thing ever. I can't touch it.
Nah, but it was like that doesn't do enough difference for me to warrant taking it all the time. It wants you to take it like twice a day and just be a zombie. And in my opinion, so I had never used CBD before as a health because
just weed for the fun of weed.
Yeah, and like
THC high.
Like I'm not one of those like weed snobs that's like, well, you know, like you haven't found the right strain yet. Like for me, it's all weed, you know.
Yeah.
Just to just stop.
Whatever does the job.
Exactly, but anyway, CBD. I used it to recover from my surgery, and I used it for pain, and I was able to get through the whole process and like relatively pain free. I mean, not pain free, but like I was living. You know, I wasn't just all the time. And it was actually pretty remarkable because on that same note of not being a weed snob, I almost kind of am skeptical about how much praise it gets from the weed snobs about all these different things that it can do for you.
Okay.
It's just like really,
you think they're just like too busy wanking it off?
Yeah,
like weed's the best thing ever,
exactly.
bro.
Cures cancer. Like, I don't know about cures cancer. I think it might help the pain, and it might,
Although there have been some studies done on rats, I think, or something, with like potential. It can get rid of the what are they fucking called? With the big growths?
Tumors. It's not a tumor.
Slip my mind. Slip my mind. So okay, yeah. But if you had do you have a favorite strain of weed? Just anything?
I guess I'm an indica guy, and if I were to pick a strain, I don't know, I have a specific strain, but OGs, anything with OG at the end of it, pretty cool.
Just quickly, indica. What's that?
Well, indica is like the slumpy, couch locky, just relaxed types. Sativa is more laughy, more talkative.
Bit more energy,
I have ADHD. So sativa doesn't really work for my late night mind, and I use
unless you're actually trying to go.
But even if I'm trying to go, I'd rather have a cup of coffee. Like but
do you dabble in coffee?
A lot.
Right.
I've become.
I don't dabble.
Cups and cups and cups a day.
Do green tea myself.
Did you ever do coffee or
never did it?
Okay, because
I didn't want to start it, bro.
When I got in DC, we had a Starbucks machine in our office, and I would just every day. And it's almost like a cigarette as to where you're not doing it because you need it. You're doing it because you're drinking something.
And it's a break.
You kind of know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like you're like, it's just like you're taking a stove break.
Yeah. It's the same as like if you're at a bar, you go out to a bar and you don't have a drink, you kind of like feel a little bit awkward.
Yeah.
You just kind of want something to do with your hands.
Totally.
You know?
And I think that's a big problem I have actually is on that, going back to binge drinking. I wouldn't say it's binge drinking necessarily, but I feel like I need to continue drinking to not feel weird.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean? Because
I just get bored.
Yeah.
Like
you drink like 3 beers,
point,
like, I should slow down.
Yeah.
What do I do? Grab another one, drink it really slow.
I'll keep drinking.
Yeah, or I guess you could just hold it like I've been doing with this thing. But like, I agree with you. It's just weird to not have like a beer in your hand at a party.
It is.
I could not imagine being sober. Like, shout out to everyone that can be sober, and I'm
Bro, on that note,
so
I'm
proud.
gonna do sober April, both of them.
Did you do October?
I did October successfully,
Yeah.
and
How
I
did it go? How did it go for you? Talk about
tough,
that.
bro. It was tough. So
Because I'm deep.
I didn't do exactly sober October. I started a little bit later, and I went a little bit into November.
Okay.
And I just did heaps of exercise. I was training for a touch tournament a bit, and it was a very productive month.
Right.
You know, because it's mainly just because of the hangovers. That writes off, you know,
A lot.
That writes
Every
off,
Sunday
Yeah.
is now free.
Yeah, and even Mondays are slow. You know,
Yeah.
after drinking on a Saturday, still
little
feel
bit.
a bit. I don't feel top notch.
Agreed.
And Saturday, you know, I'm normally too excited because I'm like, I think I'm drinking today.
yeah,
So-
exactly. Because you don't do much to the day leading
No, I
up.
don't.
And Saturday, you're also like, I worked. I don't need to do
You
anything.
almost feel like you deserve the treat.
My thing lately, I've been. It's one of the two. I either go out Friday and just get it over with, and then take the rest of the weekend, or I'll take Friday off because I'll just go home and sleep, wake up
right.
and just drink on Saturday, and then
Right.
recover Sunday.
I'm an advocate for the Friday night drinking, and then riding off Saturday. Just get high all day Saturday and just ride it off, and then Sunday just kind of start doing some shit on Sunday.
yeah,
That's my favorite thing to do. But there's something always happens on Saturday. You know, someone's always planned something for Saturday. I'm having drinks, or we're playing a gig, or
that's why it's cool in LA because you're just like traffic.
yeah.
I'm not going out fuck. Because it's so big that you kind of have your own bubbles and different. So like I live in a place called Culver City, so like I guess you could call it a suburb of Santa Monica, but my address is LA. So like I live in the city of LA.
Yeah.
But it's like if I want to go to Santa Monica, that's an excursion. If I want to go to downtown, it's kind of it's a deal. It's a whole deal.
Yeah. Feel you.
And
I
so
feel that.
that's just part of the whole excuse process.
It's like that for me here compared to
Yeah.
compared
Well, it was
to
like a
back home.
20-minute ride from me. I mean,
Yeah.
it's not long.
It's not as bad, but like compared to when I was in Dunedin, it was like
By the
we
way,
got like a 5-minute walk.
speaking of Dunedin, I just read something about what we were talking about earlier, the shooting in New Zealand. Apparently, the Dunedin police might be involved. Suspects.
Conspiracy theory.
Yes.
We've thought of them tonight.
No, it's not. No, it's not. It's not a conspiracy. I would never just say, "Oh, the Dunedin police did it." No, I actually saw it.
Okay,
I actually saw it on
that's
there. Yeah.
trippy. I mean, I suppose we just got to wait for more information to come out.
Man.
It just happened today. I mean, more shit's going to come out
Exactly.
soon. That'd be
I hope
trippy, though.
actually not though. I hope that
same.
because
That'd
the
fuck
more
everything up.
the more that you give the dude attention, that's what he wants, and he's still alive, so he wants it. Yeah,
I actually watched the video because the video.
I
was
watched part of it on the news. I didn't. Ugh.
Yeah. The quality was so bad that you couldn't really make out what was going on. It was just like you could hear the gun going off and like a little flash of the gun, and then you would just see like some people like drop, and he'd go up quite close to some in the corner, and you just see them dead, and he double shot them all, like double checked.
I don't even want to talk about this fool.
Well, you know.
I know.
Fair enough. Okay.
I
was
don't
like-
know because I feel like the more we're talking about it, then the more he's getting his.
Okay.
I mean, it's not like
that this is a massive.
this is
outlet.
not a massive following, but I don't know. Like, it just makes me fucking sad, and especially
It gives you
because
that weird feeling in your belly, you know. It's just like, man,
it's in New Zealand too, and it's like it's
New
not
Zealand.
like America. This happens so much, but
innocent little New Zealand.
yeah, it's like New Zealand is happening, and like I think more people are seeing what goes on in America and want to imitate it,
Totally.
and it sucks. And I don't want to be a part of that America.
It does suck.
It does.
Oh yeah, it's a crazy old time for America, you know.
Yeah, it is. It's very divided, and
Most polarized it's ever been, isn't it? Like,
I mean, I can't
came
speak to that because I'm not old enough, and I'm sure that there's
I
others.
think the stats have came out, bro. Like over the last 4 or 5 years.
I could totally
it's
see
just
it. I mean, social media amplifies it, and then I'd say that
Tribalism, bro.
most people just run on emotion, and I'd say that like a lot of young people like Trump because he's funny, and because
And he's pissing off the people that
owns
don't
the
like
libs.
Trump.
They call it owning the libs.
Yeah.
and it's just like
There's the whole thing about
because
that.
like, dude,
destroy.
I hate PC culture. I think
Yeah.
you should be able to say whatever you want. Not
I'm the
post
same.
manifestos online. I mean, if you do it, but like it's not my cup of tea. But anyways, I believe in free speech.
Yeah. First and foremost. It's Trump and everything.
So,
Trump.
but that's not everything that Trump stands for. But Trump will make comments about the PC left, or when the left is going, oh, we shouldn't do this and that.
Yeah.
And Trump's like, oh, shut up. Like, you know, like people are like,
Yeah.
and it's like, dude, yeah, I admit Trump is a comedian. It just sucks. He's our president.
Yeah.
If he wasn't our president,
unique
dude, I would
time,
be a
bro.
Trump fan.
It's a unique time for.
But it's so bad because like I remember, I don't know, were you no, you were
I was there during the elections.
But I remember we were just sitting there and we were waiting for the results, and everyone kind of just wrote off Hillary as winning.
Yeah.
And then once the results are rolling in, and you're just kind of like, seriously? Because you almost have this vision of America that you thought was, oh, they would never elect a guy like this.
Yeah.
There's no way that our country would elect someone this messed up.
Yeah.
And then when it happened, you're like, maybe I was wrong about our country. And it was like everything that I learned, and I'm not like a political genius by any means, but everything that I've learned about politics went out the window that day.
Right.
And now politics is completely different.
Do you reckon? What did you think of because you did political science? Do you think that they just missed the gun completely then? Because you said everything you learned about.
Yeah.
Science.
Well, I mean, I think that I was underestimating.
They're in a bubble. But
in a way, the media kind of screwed it up in a way that they kind of gave Trump a lot of coverage because he was so wild.
And they tried to make him sound way worse than what he was.
Right, and then this is going back to the emotion thing. Is that the more that Trump is shat on by the liberal media, the liberal America, the more pissed off the right gets, and it doesn't matter.
Not even the right. Just
But
like
I know,
even
that's what I'm saying.
centrist rights are just kind of like, well, you know what? Fuck you guys too, bro.
Look, I get upset. I mean, like, I hate Trump. I mean, I don't like him as a president, but I would say that the left doesn't do themselves any favors.
Yeah, the radical left sucks too.
Yeah, politics is just a mess, and I just hope that it figures itself out soon. But yeah, I mean, I think that what I really underestimated was I didn't think that our country. I think that I thought that our country valued statesmanship and being a president, being presidential.
Yeah, like the stereotypical president.
Right.
Thing. Like
And I felt
articulate and like conscious of, I don't know. Like
just-
even just social media's just fucking changed it, bro.
And it has. It's social, and I would love to see kind of just a social media study on how social media has affected both the world of politics and just us in general.
Oh, bro, I know it's done fuckloads for suicide and attempted suicide among girls.
It increases anxiety so much, man. Me too. I look at people's Instagram and I'm just like, man, I'm not as cool as that guy.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. Like, imagine if you feel like that. I mean, girls are more inclined to, without, put them in a box, but
No, I get it.
more inclined to compare themselves to other people. And especially younger girls,
Yeah, totally.
And so if they're seeing their mates up there who are posting these photos and they are getting more likes than what they get, they're automatically like, well, she's better than me.
And as much as like people try and say that I'm not on Instagram for validation, you are.
Everyone's on Instagram.
Me
Everyone's
and you,
on social media. For
every time
validation.
we post something, every like we get is a pat on the back and a reminder
It's a
that
dopamine
person
hit.
cares about us.
Yep, yep.
Which feels good. It does.
And it's not a bad thing, but it's an addictive thing.
Yes.
And it can be dangerous.
Yeah, it is. Because there's a
it can
lot of
give you a lot
people
of
that I
power.
don't even talk to in real life that I feel like know me because they like my shit all the time.
Yeah, hard.
And you're just like, I have all these friends.
But then there's also that like, maybe they're just liking you because they want something back.
Yeah, and I like all their stuff too. So it's like
Craig,
like
you have this like relationship, but no actual deep
relationship.
connection.
Yeah,
It's fucked up, bro.
and you value them. You value them as one of your main likers. You're like, I can always count on them.
I fucking rate this guy, bro.
But my post's a little down. I'm like, oh well, she'll like it or he'll like it. Oh, don't
Give me some
worry.
dopamine, baby.
Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna take a wicked pizza.
Okay. Should we go for a wee three-parter? Yeah. Okay, let's have another break. I'm down. This is great. Yeah, we'll be back. I'll give you a recommended song. Let's go for Pride and Joy. Stevie Ray Vaughan. We'll get you a 3-parter. Here we go. Catch ya.
Part 5.
How many parts can these guys do?
I
It's the longest podcast ever.
You should just not see people forever and just interview only people you haven't seen forever.
Yeah.
Just have a gold
Go live in
podcast. Exactly.
Yeah, that's what I reckon. Oh, that's definitely part of it, eh? 3 years, bro. It's a long fucking time.
Yeah, but the thing is, it doesn't seem like it's been.
No, it doesn't.
It doesn't
Especially,
seem.
I've always had people say the whole, oh, whenever we get back together, it just feels like we've never been apart. But I've never really experienced that because I've pretty much always been able to just go and meet up with, like within a year at least. I probably see all my major mates within a year, which just isn't that long. But 3 years is that's pretty long.
Yeah.
But it does genuinely just feel like,
I mean, we do
Same
talk.
old shit.
I feel like we talk like
We do.
once a month.
yeah, probably.
I mean,
once
like
month,
a
eh?
solid once a month. Yeah.
Yeah, on average, I'd say, yeah.
So
Okay, wait up.
Yeah.
Curious question, mate. The little segment I do, I've got one for you.
Hey.
Okay. There's a train.
Uh-huh.
There's 2 lines.
Uh-huh.
It's going towards a line where there's 5 people tied down. Okay?
Uh-huh.
You have the power to turn the switch so it goes down the other line. It's a classic. Goes down the other line and there's only one person on that line.
1 or 5.
1 or 5. But you're the decider.
I mean, you gotta go the 1. I mean, I'd rather not kill anyone, but if there's only 2
course.
choices, you gotta go 1.
There's blood on your hand though.
There'd be 5 bloods on my hands.
Yeah. Too true. I feel you. I'd go the 1 as well.
I feel
But
like
it would be. Do you think you could? Do you think you actually could? Because like these are people. Realize they're going to be like screaming and shit.
Okay,
and, like,
wait.
These people are going to be like, "Fucking turn the fucking switch, bro!" And then this one person will be like, oh, "Don't fucking turn the switch." Or unless he's a good guy and be like, "Okay, I'll take it. I'll take it."
But
for
would
the
you
boys."
would you just be like walking away on one of the options, or would you have to turn it one way or the other? Like, would you have to
Oh,
make?
you have to do one or the other.
Yeah, that's an easy answer then.
Yeah,
I
you
feel like
reckon?
I really feel like there's.
Okay,
no
but
other
it's
answer.
already lined up for the 5.
Switch it to the 1.
Switch it to the 1. Okay, yeah, I'd go that too.
I mean, it would be. I mean, it would be. I don't know. Like, I don't know what
Like,
killing.
do you
a
reckon you
person-
could do it? Because then you're picking this life
Well, what
as
happen-
less sacred over this life. Kind of, you know? But like I'm seeing it as
Well, I don't know if the 1 was like a pregnant woman, might be different. But
Mm.
like, I mean, if they're all on the same level of humanity.
okay, what about this?
here-
What about this? A pregnant woman's the 1, and then you got 5 60 plus people. Gone. 40 plus.
Children.
2 of them have children.
That's. I don't know. That's crazy because I really wouldn't want to kill the pregnant woman.
Yeah, I feel you.
But I mean, like, hopefully never have to be in this situation.
Hopefully, as
Yeah.
long as it's probable, bro.
But
You probably will.
But I still feel like, I'd rather kill 1 than 5. If I'm gonna need to kill someone, it's just kind of like,
Yeah.
that's just what you gotta do.
Do you fuck with Rick and Morty?
Yeah, I mean, like, I watched it.
So you don't.
No, I mean,
Because
like,
you either fuck with Rick and Morty or you.
I'm not a huge
don't.
fan.
Yeah,
I'm entertained by it,
Yeah.
so I'll turn it on in passing. But yeah, I'm not like a huge fan.
Yeah, I'm an advocate, big time.
I think I know that. I think, yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Was it going? Was it a thing? Oh, I learned it in America. That was where I first started
It's
watching
big
it.
because when I was living in Washington, they had.
Although it was my mate Jackson who told me about it first. I'll give you that, mate. But, I started watching it in America.
Shout out to Jay.
They are.
But I the Szechuan sauce. Did you hear about that?
Yeah.
They did that whole deal when I was in DC. I didn't get any of it, but I don't know. It was mad.
Have you ever had Szechuan sauce? Okay, I haven't had the Macca's one, but I had I went out for a BYO once here, and there was
was
a
that?
Szechuan, hey,
What? BYO?
like a You go to a restaurant, you're allowed to take a bottle of wine.
I think they have that in America.
Really? Holy shit, bro. We should go for one.
Okay, I'll see you there in America. You'll be there in a bit. I'm
No,
going.
because you can't do them in America.
No, I think you can. I think it's probably less common.
Oh, well, they're quite a big hit in Dunedin. Like, you'd go out for a beer, take a bottle of wine and eat a curry or whatever and get.
I gotta
just
get back to
fucked
New
up.
Zealand, honestly.
Yeah.
See how my
You got to
boys.
test out the waters in Dunners, bro. But anyway,
6'6".
went to this BYO and then
Oh yeah, shout out to 660 by the way.
660, yeah. Yeah, they were another one of your bangers.
Yeah. Hey, how'd you like the new album, real quick? The latest batch of singles.
Oh wait, the latest batch of singles, as in.
I mean, Closer, Don't Give It Up. I agree.
Pop.
Yeah. Because the Gold album, and like I love 660 honestly. So
Yeah.
they're like honestly probably
Same.
my favorite
They're
band.
great.
But like
Favorite tune?
depends on my mood because like
Yeah.
if I've just broken up with a lady, can't listen to some of that shit. But like there's such good. What's the name of the album with all the colors on it? Purple.
Oh, I don't fucking.
Is it
know
called
the
Purple?
names of the albums, bro.
But like there's the one with all the colors on the front with white lines is on
Let's
it.
try this. Hey Google, what are the names of 660's albums? Cool.
Nice. Not the right band. Anyways,
Hey Google, volume 100%. I don't think it's working. Leave him out of it.
anyways,
Fuck 'em.
so there's Gold, which was like Finest Wine, Windy Days, Forever.
Bang, bang, bang.
Forever is just it's okay. If you think about it, Forever is literally the most repetitive and not lyrical song
I
in the
think
world.
they did something about it.
But it's
like
just
50 Forevers or
so
something.
good. It's so good. Finest Wine.
Yeah, that's the one.
Give me a glass of... But I actually like the acoustic version.
Okay, yeah.
You ever heard the acoustic?
Yeah, I have heard the acoustic, but I prefer
The Waterfalls cover?
Waterfalls is mean.
Yeah. But and then
In the Clear, bro. Did you ever fuck with In the Clear? It was off their first one, I think.
No. Green Bottles.
Green Bottles, yep.
So
High?
Yeah, you told me about that. White Lines.
White Lines, yeah. Bang, bang.
Yeah.
Cool video idea. Did you
Yeah.
ever watch the video?
Yeah.
I was in that right at the start.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, my ex
Unconsciously.
I remember my ex-girlfriend. We used to listen to that all the time. That album, the White Lines in Purple.
Yeah.
And
Purple's cool,
she wrote a caption on her Instagram. It was like White Lines and Good Times. And she was talking about the clouds, and I was like, I think the lyric was about cocaine.
Yeah.
And she was like, no, it wasn't. I'm like, yeah, it was. And she's like, fuck, I got to take the caption down. But yeah, I feel like all of the ladies in my life, we just always get involved in 660.
Yeah, right. That's a good little lady lover, is it?
Yeah.
Nice.
I mean, like, but I genuinely like the music, but that sucks because I feel like I can't go back and listen to some songs when I'm in moods. You know what I mean?
You got some heart scars.
Like the
with them.
song "Purple," can't listen to that.
Yeah, it's a great
at all.
heart scar. I can feel the pain already.
I
don't even
cannot
know
listen
the
to that.
story.
Dude, I haven't listened to that song in 2 years.
God, it's good though.
So good, so good. Forever, I feel like
It makes me feel so lovey-dovey inside. It just like
The sky
just
is purple.
lovey-dovey.
Oh my god.
Anyway, Szechuan sauce can't.
Yeah. Got off.
Yeah, so it's not that.
Sounds
Sounds built
nothing
up
like
now.
that. What we were just talking about.
All that happened was I went to this BYO, this Asian place, and then it just had a Szechuan sauce dish, and I was like, "Yo, I'm gonna try that shit." And then it was fucking mean, eh? Like, it was
chicken?
actually really good.
Was it meat or what?
No, it's the sauce.
Nah, but what was the sauce on?
Oh yeah, it was noodle dish
Ah.
with meat and
Ah.
veg, I think. Yeah. Can't
Right.
remember. Yeah, it was really good.
Sounds good
In
to me.
fact, if you ever get the opportunity, give her a hizzle up.
If I'm ever in Melbourne and I need a
Szechuan
dish,
Don't know the name of the place.
don't know the name of the place, we'll figure it out.
Chinatown. I think it was in Chinatown.
87.9, 2 a.m.
You're here with
Google.
Noah. Hey
Play
Google.
smooth. Hey Google, play smooth jazz.
You suck. I don't know why he's so quiet. Give up on him. Fuck
Yeah,
him.
that's why we need an Amazon Alexa in here. We can't be trusting
Ooh,
Google.
we got some favoritism. Do you have a smart system at home?
We got Alexa, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I use it as like an alarm clock. I like the word of the day function. I'd just be like, Alexa, what's the word of the day? Alexa, the word of the day is perhaps, and then I just use the word perhaps all day. It's great.
It's like that's like on that episode of Family Guy where Peter wins that board game and then he thinks he's really smart. Brian makes him do a IQ test and then he finds out he's retarded. And he's like, at the end of it, when he thinks he's really smart, he's just like, perhaps.
Dude, I always find myself saying perhaps. I mean, I guess it's like kind of a good word to say. It's kind of fun. There's certain words that are just fun.
Yeah.
There you go. Perhaps.
It's like posh kind of
Yeah.
in a sense.
Yeah, I was thinking about this today. Speaking of posh, because what immediately comes to mind is England. And I feel like after being in Australia, like Australia is the Texas of the Commonwealth.
Totally, bro. That's great.
Because like British people are like, yeah, so I would have some beans and no, that's not the right accent.
You're only in Melbourne, bro.
I know.
This isn't the Texas of Australia.
Like not Perth or anything. But yeah, like you hear a British person talking, they're like, oh yeah, like, whatever. And then you get to Australia and blah, 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 blah. Just like, oh, we're in Texas, just doing roping some cattle. Like, same deal.
Not so sure about this United States thing.
Yeah, not so sure.
Hold it back.
No, we might have to secede.
Tiger law.
But I just think like, oh my god, it's so true.
Yeah,
they're just like,
I like Texas though.
It was cool. Austin was awesome, man.
Yeah,
but
I went to Austin
Austin's not necessarily Texas. I feel, from what I've heard.
Right. Austin was cool though. I really liked it.
So cool. One of my favorite cities in America for sure.
Well, I did only spend a few days, so I can't.
No, but still, like I've only been there for like 2 days, but I still had like a really good time.
Yeah. But do you feel like that's what I wonder with travel is? Do you really know if a different place is good if you only have 2 days there? Because are you just on the high of being somewhere different?
I don't think it matters. I think it just matters how you feel. Because if you're happy, you're happy.
That's what I mean. Do you think that you're happy because you're just excited because you're gone somewhere else?
Probably depends on the person. I feel like I just get excited being in a new place.
Yeah.
Like
I think I might too, which is why I never know.
But
that's why I can never say if I actually like a city.
But if you go back, okay, like what's an example of a city like that? Because to me,
that I like.
When I think of Austin, which I was there for 2 days, I remember all the fun bars I went to. I remember the good food that I had. And I do you remember my buddy Tony, the big Jewish kid? Yeah. We met at hey Tony, we met up in Austin randomly. It's crazy because like on these trips, I always have like one friend that's in that place.
Yeah,
and it's weird. Really it's weird that it's Melbourne, Australia.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. You're lucky.
And it's weird also because like my like people that I work with like always see like how do you know so many people? It's like I don't know, it's just luck, I guess. I'm gonna go meet up with my friend right now in Melbourne. But it's super cool, and then that's just on a sappier note, what traveling can do for you, like what you did at Oregon. When I moved to DC, when I went to Oregon in the first place, you have all these different networks of people in the world, like Ray in Japan, Crown in South Korea. I don't know if you ever met Vinoth, but he's from Malaysia. Like we all have like these people that we know. You're from New Zealand. We all have all these people that we know all over the world that I know for a fact if I went to go see them, it would be a great time and it would just be like the same thing.
Fucking oath.
Yeah, but that'll always exist.
Yeah,
I think because the rugby's just a thing where you get in fights and stuff. Were you there when I got in the fight with Oregon State? By the way.
Don't know.
You must. Well, I don't know. But I just like if you're involved in like fight. So what happened? This is just like a good example of kind of the same. Like when you have this like brotherhood day, like Char, who was my roommate at the time, the pro, and we grew up together. He was our scrum half, and he was fighting the other scrum half, and then one of the locks that was opposite me sucker punched him while he was fighting the other kids. And then I just hit this kid. And he kind of just buckled a little bit, and then everyone just started kind of going in, and it's just like I did that because like I love the guy, like known him forever.
Yeah.
Like it's not like I wanted to like hurt someone, but it's like
But almost
you're
instinctual?
involved in you're involved in those situations with people, and then all the people that come in to help because you're all friends with them. You create these bonds with people. Like I don't think there's sports where like I don't know if you ever heard the damn classic rugby quote. He who sheds blood with me shall forever be my brother, or something like that.
Yeah. It's very dramatic.
But it's true.
It is, yeah.
Because it's like, if you fight too, so let's say if we're all on like a hockey team or we're all on a boxing team or whatever, same thing. I don't know if the same deal would happen.
The beauty of sport, bro, to be honest. Like,
Yeah.
I don't think it's like blood's like a exaggeration,
So,
I'd say.
Well,
Like,
do you think that the same thing would happen with baseball or cricket
I
or
don't know.
whatever?
Yeah, cricket, for sure.
Yeah.
Just like if you both love something, or if you all love the same thing, you're going to get around each other. But I do feel it. I feel like
That,
this
like-
bond is a bit stronger when there's a bit of fist and blood in there.
Yeah. Like when you wake up on a Sunday and you feel like a car ran you over and both your roommates are just like, this sucks.
You suffer together. Yeah,
Like,
the suffering does create purpose.
You're both
you
just
know?
like this from across the room at each other. Like, we're not moving all day. But that's serious.
Check
Like,
me the bong.
it's just how it goes. Like that's just how it was. And
Speaking of fucking getting run over by a car, do you want to run us through your fucking hip replacement, bro?
Yeah.
Because that's pretty crazy for what are you, 23?
Yeah.
A 23-year-old
Very,
having
very
a hip
young.
replacement. That's got to be very rare.
It was very rare, and the doctors were very surprised. The way that it happened is, I was in Spain, not a big deal. And I was at dinner with Arnold, not a big deal. And his girlfriend is a physical therapist, and she's currently my physical therapist, which is really great.
Yeah.
But I asked her, I was like, my leg's really hurting me. I don't know what's wrong. Do you think? And she's like, come into my office, we'll figure it out. And so she had her staff do a mobility check on me, and it was almost immediate. They're like, dude, your hips are messed up. Like my range of motion was horrible. It
What
was
was wrong with them?
ground arthritis.
Arthritis.
But arthritis came from rugby, from MMA, like all this stuff, and not stretching.
And how does arthritis happen? Just wear and tear.
Wear and tear.
And like,
well, there's different
you're
types.
predisposed to it as well.
Yes, because being tall and skinny in general is just not good for your
Okay.
bone structure. From what I gather, I'm not an expert, but basically my hip sockets are really deep, and my ball joints looked like eggs. So it was just kind of like jiggling around in there, grinding down all the cartilage, and pretty soon all the cartilage was gone. And they were like, okay, yeah, you need to get your hip replaced. So they gave me an option. Like, we could just clean you out, do an arthroscopy, which is a minimally invasive surgery, and we can't guarantee that that'll fix your pain. Or we can do the full replacement. And then also the first option, they'd be like, you need a replacement in 10 years. So they're like, or we can do the replacement now. You won't need anything else till you're like 60, if that, if you even need anything, you know.
And medicine's going well.
Right.
all
So
that's
that's
just gonna get
the
better.
thing. If I even need anything down the line, and so I was like, well, let's just do the hip replacement. I don't care. You know, I'd rather just do this now if I
Yeah.
need it.
And you were in pain walking around and whatnot?
Yeah, every day.
Just sitting?
every
lying
day.
down?
Every day.
Like,
I mean, it
all
wasn't
the time, you mean?
Yeah, but it wasn't unbearable. It kind of just became like a white
dealt with
noise
it.
almost.
Yeah, okay.
But it was just something like because I love to work out, and I mean, look at me, I'm fucking, but like I couldn't squat or like deadlift without like significant
Properly,
pain.
Yeah.
And so I was just so tired of it. And I actually tried to go back to jiu-jitsu, which was like just something that really kind of like helped me get back into sport.
Yeah.
And then when I realized that I wasn't able to do jiu-jitsu without pain, it was just kind of like, okay, like if I really want to be athletic and do sport again, which I imagine I'm going to go back to jiu-jitsu once I'm healed, I need to fix it. So I went in, and scars like this big, and
Badass.
they just replaced they cut off the top of my femur, put a fake thing in there, put a fake socket in. So the ball fits the fake socket. The fake ball fits the fake socket.
It's fucking amazing, bro. That is fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Imagine telling that to someone 100 years ago.
Hmm.
They'd be like, you're a witch.
Yeah.
That's
And
not
the
that's
crazy-
not something.
the
I don't know,
crazy
maybe
thing
200 years ago. I don't know. What
Is like you're saying how like young is like a big deal. I remember I was on the phone with the doctor like 2 days before the surgery, and they were walking me through everything. And they were like, yeah. So I was like, how long do you think it will take to like get me back to, being normal. Like, I don't know, man. Sometimes it takes about a year and a half. I'm like, really? That's not what everyone else is. They've told me I'd be walking in a couple weeks. And they're like, how old are you? They're like, 23. They're like, oh, for sure. Yeah, you'll be fine. Because everyone that calls for, or everyone that has a surgery is like 70.
Yeah, right.
And so their recovery time is so much different. And it's, blessed to God, I'm walking around and 6 weeks later.
And so what was you want to run us through the recovery process?
Yeah, so
I mean, you hit your CBDs.
yeah. So but the first I would just do a lot of CBDs and a lot of marijuana just to kind of like help me
For the pain
sleep
relief.
and just kind of chill.
Yeah.
So I wasn't doing much, and I don't know, I was just watching like trash TV, like reality TV and stuff. But first like week I was on a walker, like a straight like tennis balls on the bottom walker. Really ridiculous sight. You've seen the photo, yeah. So blast that photo up on right now.
Yeah, go like it up. You need that dopamine right now.
But so I was on that for a bit, and that was brutal. And it's fun. Our buddy Dave. I'm surprised we haven't talked about Dave.
Dave, up 2G. Surely he's gonna listen.
Yeah, and Dave stayed over at my house because my parents left. They had to go back to Sacramento. They were taking care of me for a bit, and so Dave's job was to take care of me that night. And I wasn't able to get out of bed on my own, so every time I had to piss, I had to call somebody. Yeah. And I don't know if it was just post-surgery. I was just pissing like a racehorse all the time.
Like this podcast.
Yeah, just like this podcast. And so Dave's like, don't worry, like just wake me up or call me. I'll keep my phone on loud and I'll get up and I'll take you out of bed and you can piss. And he was sleeping literally in the room next to me. And so it's like 2 a.m. Dave had been drinking with Paul like at my house that day. And so I'm like, damn, I have to piss. And I called Dave, no answer. Call Dave, no answer. And I'm just sitting there like, oh no.
Yo, it would be the pisser.
and then I'm just like, it's do or die right now. Like, I'm going to have to get out of bed on my own. And so I just put the walker next to my bed and I just like push it. Like, it was
triceps.
Like, it was like 2:30 in the morning and it was like the biggest workout I've had forever. And I finally get out of bed and I go to the bathroom and I just walk over to Dave and I just like wake him up like, what the hell? Like, you didn't wake me up. Or like, you didn't wake up. I told you had to be here to take care of me. Like, I couldn't get out of bed on my own. I just had to learn how to get out of bed on my own. Like, what the hell? And he's like whatever. Like, I don't even know what he said.
You can thank me later.
And he wakes up the next day like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. But like,
spaghetti.
I guess he
kind
of definitely it made me kind of get off my ass and do it. But
yeah,
like,
that's what I mean. Like, you can thank me later. Like, now you know you can do it.
Yeah. But it was just like at the time like, Dave. Oh wow. Well, I'll tell you about this story later in more detail, but basically like I had to like I was seeing a girl and I couldn't take a shower by myself, so she had to kind of like help me take a shower, and like it was just so embarrassing. Like just like having like someone like help you take a shower and like get off your walker and shit. I don't know.
Off a walker. That's the thing.
I felt like such a I don't know.
Guy.
I hate relying on others. And it was just like such a terrible time because it's like, do you want me to hold that for you? Do you want me to hold that for you? Nah. And then after I got off my walker, I was on a cane. And that was still kind of annoying because like you have to carry your cane everywhere.
Yeah.
And so like you get in
the cane's kind of badass. I mean, you feel like a wizard.
I had one with like an eagle's head on it. It was super uncomfortable. But every time I would get into a car, like someone's thinking I went to Iraq or something. Because like you're so young, like what do you need a cane for? Did you get shot? Like did you like you have a disability?
No, I have arthritis.
Yeah, I actually just got a hip replacement. And then like you have this like 60-year-old Uber driver's like, me too, brother. Join the club. And you're like, hi, because it's really like a community of dudes that like get their hips replaced. Like, oh, you had your hip replaced? Awesome. Part of the gang.
My God.
And they're all like 60. Yeah, and I'm just like this little kid, just like
yep. I'm in the cool crowd.
Yep. And I'm probably have to have this bad boy done in like 15 years. So.
Yeah, right.
I mean, I'm happy that I had it done because I'm out of pain. Well, I mean, I'm not 100% out of pain, but like.
So, like, not recommended getting a fucked hip, but recommended getting it sorted as quickly as possible.
Yeah. I mean, you should get anything fixed. Like, if you know that you need something done, don't wait because the younger you are, the better you're going to recover. And like, look, I'm moving around 6 weeks later.
Yeah.
Totally cool.
Good oath. Oh yeah. One more thing I wanted to talk to you about was you sent me I don't know, Snapchat or fucking Instagram or some bullshit. Mike Tyson? What did he send you?
Well, I was
It's from his new weed thing.
yeah. So I mean, I was just in
Mike Tilo.
Columbus, Ohio, and we were having lunch with just some people involved in the community, and a guy from here actually. He was sitting next to me and he heard about my hip and how I used the CBD of the marijuana to recover. And he was just like, "Oh, mate, like, you know, I'll send you some weed to help your recovery." So,
And it just so happened to be off Mike Tilo's farm.
yeah, I don't even know if I should have said that, but like, yeah, like, I mean, if we have to edit it, I would have to edit it out. But you know, like it was cool. I mean, it was just so random.
Yeah. What is the name of his operation?
Tyson Ranch.
Tyson.
And I saw like a tweet today.
Because I saw I watched his podcast with Rogan, which was fucking cool.
Yeah,
And
he's
he
actually a really
talked about
intelligent guy.
Yeah, well, he trippy guy, bro. Sounds like the craziest life.
Totally.
The crazy.
Totally. It's like,
Hypnotized?
did you
Hypnotized as fuck. I didn't know that.
did you tell his did you hear the story about how he was given liquor and tree to like go to bed as a kid?
When he was like fucking 10, bro. And then he started doing acid when he was 13. And that's when he got hypnotized and to unlock his animal side, so that he was like super aggressive and good at boxing and shit.
Yeah, I love watching Tyson fight, dude.
He's a crazy dude.
But I like I was saying, he's really turned his image around.
Totally.
He's
And
really
quite ashamed of his past.
Yes, totally. And he said some messed up
Fucking
stuff.
respect.
Yeah, no, I mean, like, you know, everyone has their own bad past, and if you can get past it, more power to you. And that's why, and some of it is not okay, no matter what. But I mean, like, you see a lot of this stuff nowadays, where people are getting called out for things that they said when they were younger on the internet.
There's
or
no
something.
path for redemption anymore.
Right,
No?
and I think that's a big problem. Because me personally, like, I've probably done some stuff in the past that I'm not proud of.
Oh,
Not-
I've
not-
definitely done some shit.
You know, I didn't like murder anyone or anything.
Yeah, nothing horrible, but there's who hasn't done something
Yeah.
they're not proud of.
Or
you know?
I'm sure I've said something on the internet.
There's got to be a
that is
road to
dumb.
redemption still, though. You know?
Yeah, and I think me personally, because my whole existence from when, actually, Ruben, it was interesting because I met you right after I broke up with Julia, and I was going through a really rough time, and but that whole breakup and the whole consequential meeting, basically getting reconnected with my friends and seeing what I could do on my own, like, ever since that moment, I've been just determined to be better. You know,
Yeah, right.
Like, that sounds super cheesy, but like, really, like,
It's cheesy as fuck.
But all I wanna do
breakup
is
will do
just
that
be-
to you. You know, it'll actually make you open your eyes and be like, okay, let's start with me.
Right.
Let's sort me out.
and I don't want to give her like all this credit for my success, but like, I actually do give her some credit of like, thank you for doing that. You know, because
What success?
nothing. I'm just a bag boy.
I'm just Arnold's bitch, bro.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. It was cool. It's cool, like, kind of how you can change from what you were before, even in your work, in your like social life, being nice to people.
Yeah.
I think what I learned mostly is that and this is also another cheesy statement your grandma tells you, but it's like you get more with honey than you do with vinegar. And it's like if you treat everyone like your friend.
Never heard that myself.
Well, I don't know what you guys say here. Something like,
I don't know where you guys are from.
you get more than something than you do with Marmite.
Get more veggie boy than Marmite.
I'm Marmite. Bye. I was listening to, Chris D'Elia?
Who?
Chris D'Elia.
Chris
He's a comedian.
Chris D'Elia.
D'Elia.
I feel like I've heard of him.
He has this joke
Ah.
about Australia. I go to the comedy store in Hollywood a lot.
I've got a pass to the Comics Lounge here.
Sick.
Yeah.
Dude, I love stand-up comedy live.
It's good. It was only $50
So
for a whole year.
you gotta check out Chris D'Elia after this.
Okay,
But one of his jokes is basically like, so yeah, I went to Australia, and let me tell you, nothing special. Walk outside here in LA, it's the same. Like, basically it's just LA. Everyone has an accent, and then it's just like,
Does he do that joke about Cubans? I think I have seen this guy. He has like long hair.
Yes, yes. And so he's just saying like how all Australia. So he's like, yeah, like I'm just like standing in line at Starbucks, and I just hear this guy come up to me. He's like, blah 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 blah, and I'm like, what? He's like, blah 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 blah. Like, dude, can you say that like slower? He's like, would you like a guy to come up behind you in line at Starbucks and rub his dick on your back? And he's like, no, why would I want anyone to do that? And he's like, well, you said you did. And there's another one. He's like, yeah, and then Australian people just like have these dumb other words for things in the English language. It's like, English should be universal. There shouldn't be different. He's like, I asked a guy at the hotel, where's the elevator? I don't know what you're talking about, mate. Where's the elevator? Oh, not quite sure what I know what you mean, mate.
What?
The elevator. Where is it?
I didn't know that. At
And
your hotel.
he's just making a joke about it. He's like, and then the guy's like, sorry, mate. Don't know what an elevator is. He's like, the thing that goes up and down. Where is it? And the guy's just like, oh, you mean the lift, mate? It's like,
I thought you were being serious. You're out.
blah, 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 blah. It's pretty much how Australians sound.
Okay, you have to, one more time, you have to try to do a New Zealand accent. You have to talk about what you did on your flight over here. I'm about to go grab my laptop. I'll be back in a second.
Yeah, what I did on my flight over here, I watched 2 movies. One of them was The Green Book. Viggo Mortensen from Lord of the Rings. He played Aragorn. And basically the movie's about he's driving a guy around in the South. He's an African-American guy. So obviously in the South it's not necessarily okay. It was set in the 1940s, I believe. And back then it wasn't necessarily okay. So he's the security guard and they develop a good friendship. And it's really heartwarming, in all honesty.
What was it?
The Green Book.
The Green Book?
Yeah.
Green Book.
The Green Book.
Green Book.
Yeah.
Book.
Sure.
Sure. I don't even think I've seen that, to be honest. Is it a newie?
So, yeah. Won an Oscar.
Wow, Oscar.
And, I watched a real Scucks movie, eh? The Predator.
Scucky.
Yeah, The Predator. The new Predator movie. It's terrible.
Oh, the new one.
Scucks, bro. Scucks.
Oh, jeez Louise. Okay, you got to do my test.
Test.
Yes, mate.
What? Do you test?
Higher virtue test. Okay.
What?
You just got to say either A or B.
All right.
Okay? So I'll give you 2 options and you got to pick one.
Sure, bro.
For wherever you think you sit more.
All right.
Okay. OCD or Horde?
OCD.
Comfort or adventure?
Comfort.
Compassion or competition?
Compassion.
Harmony or honesty?
Honesty for sure.
Group or solo discussion?
Group.
Purpose or pleasure?
Pleasure.
Happy and sad or content?
Happy and sad.
Question or answer?
Question.
Power to the individual or power to the group?
Individual.
Yes or no?
Yes.
Thank you, my man. Yes! God, it's good to see you. Okay,
And that's
thank
it.
you, folks. That is all we have time for. This is a biggie.
Long time coming.
I don't know. If you sat through it, good stuff, team. I mean, it's pretty much us just catching up, to be honest. Sure. Look forward to the next couple of days.
Shit, bro.
Let's keep it going.
Gonna be a good weekend, eh?
Yeah. Oh, yo. Oh, good job, Bo.
I'm gonna smoke a little fucking weed and let's get out of here.
Would